Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to open a time capsule. But we're not using a key, we're using a stack of old census records. Inside, we're going to find the story of one man, Severt Leland. And through his eyes, we're going to see the dawn of the Roaring Twenties like never before. So, let's set the scene. It's San Francisco, 1920. The Great War is finally over, and you can feel this new kind of energy on the streets. It's the sound of jazz spilling out of clubs. It's the hum of new automobiles. It's the very, very beginning of the Roaring Twenties. So, to answer that question, we're going to meet the man who actually lived it, Severt Leland. At 41 years old, he was a husband, a father of 5, and a man caught right in the middle between America's rugged past and its absolutely electrifying future. So, who was Severt in this brand new world? Well, the best place to start is probably his 9 to 5, because his journey from the frontier to a filing cabinet, well, that tells a story that's much, much bigger than just one man. This contrast says it all. Severt wasn't always a city guy in a suit. No, he started out as a merchant on the rugged Montana frontier. His journey from that totally unpredictable, self-employed life to a stable government job in a bustling city, it perfectly mirrors America's own shift, right? From a nation of pioneers to an organized urban society. For Severt, this job was about so much more than a paycheck. It was about order, a predictable 8 to 5 schedule, a daily streetcar commute, the steady hum of typewriters. It all added up to one crucial thing: stability. And in a world still reeling from the chaos of war, that stability was the foundation he could build his entire family's future on. All right, let's leave the office behind and step through the front door of 182 Chattanooga Street, the real emotional heart of Severt's world. 9. That one number, it tells you pretty much everything you need to know about the constant energy inside that house. 9 people, all living together under a single roof. Just look at what family meant back then. It wasn't just Severt, his wife, Amelia, and their 5 kids. It was also Amelia's brother Nicholas, who was an electrician, and Severt's own brother, Frank. This was a crowded, bustling, multi-generational hub, a place where relatives pooled all their resources to chase new opportunities in the big city. And this raises a challenge that feels surprisingly modern. For a guy like Severt, born way back in 1878, how in the world do you parent teenage daughters like Juanita and Evelyn when their culture is changing at lightning speed? I mean, think about it. His daughters were seeing these new fashions like bobbed hair, they were hearing jazz music, they were going to the movies. The very idea of the new woman educated and entering the workforce, just like his daughter Juanita would later do as a bank clerk, that idea was taking hold. Severt had to figure out how to balance the traditional values he grew up with against this modern world his kids were so eager to embrace. Okay, so Severt's life wasn't just stuck between his office and his crowded house. Let's take a look at how he and his family really engaged with the vibrant fabric of 1920 San Francisco. The very concept of leisure time was revolutionary for so many working families, and the city offered this whole new menu of weekend possibilities. This wasn't just about fun, either. It was about participating in a shared public life, from church socials and picnics in Golden Gate Park to the absolute magic of seeing a Charlie Chaplin film for just a dime. And through it all, Severt was performing this constant balancing act. As the son of Norwegian immigrants, he stayed deeply connected to his heritage through organizations like the Sons of Norway and the Lutheran Church. But at the exact same time, he was fully embracing his American identity, enjoying neighborhood life, going to baseball games, and becoming a true urbanite. So we have the clerk, the father, and the city dweller. When we start to weave all these threads together, what is the final portrait of Severt Leland? What does it all look like? See, he wasn't just one thing. He was the provider, the father, the husband, the urbanite, and the immigrant's son. He was a man of many, many roles, and he was successfully navigating the complexities of his life because he had to, in an era that was just as complex. In the end, his story is a quiet one, but it's incredibly powerful. It's not a story of fame or fortune, but of something maybe just as profound. Through sheer adaptability and hard work, he achieved a version of the American dream, a stable, respectable life, full of family and community, and with the promise of a better future for his children. You know, Severt Leland's world of 1920 might seem a century away, but the fundamental challenges he was facing are absolutely timeless. That balancing act between work and family, the struggle to hold on to tradition while you embrace change, and that hope of building a better life for the next generation, those are the threads that connect his story directly to our own.